Everyone, and welcome back to another professional prep video. In this follow-up video to 2D arrays, we are going to discuss printing out 2D arrays. So I kept this two-dimensional array B from our previous video on creating arrays. You can see that it uses multiple 1D arrays in order to construct the 2D array. And this is that same exact one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 by 3 are the dimensions. So let's see what happens. What if we just print out array B? What are we going to get here? Well, as you might have expected, we get a memory address. And you see, to represent a 2D array, it has these two braces there. But yeah, nonetheless, we get a memory address. So we don't want a memory address. We want to see these values, 1 through 9. So think about it this way. To print out 1D arrays, we used a single for loop. So to print out 2D arrays, we used two nested for loops. What do I mean by that? Let me show everyone. So first, let's create the outer for loop for the row dimension. So let's start row at R. Let's start it at 0. What do we want R to go to? This is where we're going to use that length attribute from our last video. We want to go b.length. And R++. This is going to be our outer for loop. We start R at 0, we go until it's less than the number of rows, and we increment it by 1. So see how we use b.length. Here we know it's 3 by 3, so we could change b.length to 3, but this is generic code that will work for any 2D array. Because you might not always know the dimension, so it's better to just generalize it with this b.length. So now let's do the column loop for int c equals 0, c is less than, and we talked about how to print out number of columns. We're going to use that same code there. And there are nested for loops. This inner loop is columns, c for column, c is less than the number of columns, and we increment it by 1. Now, we want to do system.out.print. And let's print out, we want to print out from 2D array B, we want to print out the value of RC. Just like I showed you the logic of how to print out certain values from the array, this is how we code that so that it gets every value. And we're not quite done yet. Outside of this for loop, in order to maintain the 2D array structure, you want to get it to move lines every time that it finishes a certain row. So after 1, 2, 3, it goes to the next line and proceeds with the 4, 5, 6. And we do that by putting the system.out.println outside of this inner for loop, but inside of the outer for loop, just like that. Now let's close both for loops, and let's run this code. And sure enough, you see that the values were printed in the 2D array fashion that we wanted to maintain. You can add a space between them in this statement, but that's how you print out 2D arrays in general. Like I said, if you know the dimensions, you don't have to do b.length and bo.length, or I should say name.length and namo.length. We know it's 3 by 3 in this case. We can change those values to 3 and it'll still work. But I showed you the generic format in case you don't always know the dimensions, which you won't always if you're working on coding up a project with a 2D array. But that is how you print out 2D arrays. I hope everyone has enjoyed this video on two-dimensional arrays. Please refer to our previous video. If you were confused by our length attribute or by this, creating the array, or by this, please feel free to check out that video. We also have a video on for loops in Java, which can explain these. But yeah, that's all we have. That's all I have for you for this video. Enjoy your day, everyone. Please do subscribe to our channel. Feel free to shoot us an email if you have any questions. Check out our website. But that's all for this video, everyone. Thank you.